Hello, this is a sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker, and today is September 29th, 2022, a Thursday. Still talking about wearing the mask. If positivity rate is above 5% in your area, working on that prevention of COVID-19 spreading and its variants. So today, the weather is about 46 degrees, feels like 42, which is under that setting on the thermostat for cool weather or warmer weather. When you need the thermostat operating, I think I've turned mine off now. 46 degrees feels like 42, going up to 69 today. So, Friday, tomorrow, last day of the month of September, and on to October over the weekend. Looking at items in the news, let's start with President Biden. We already know that he was presently the oldest elected president, and comments occasionally come forward as to whether he is alert and how alert is he. Excuse me, the latest situation being at a conference for nutrition, health, and one other word. And in looking out over the audience while he was addressing them, he named several people that were involved and mentioned Jackie Walorski, who was a Republican representative for Indiana. This caused the media to go into a flurry since Representative Jackie Walorski, Congresswoman, died in an automobile crash in August. So there was a major uproar amongst the media. The White House press conference person, Jean-Pierre, had to step in and say, you're being rude trying to speak over this person. But let's get back to this comment by the president. Jackie, she was supposed to be here. Anybody who's lost somebody know that there's a space that you will mentally reference for them being there. That's called a grieving period. And nobody can say for anybody how long that grieving period is until your emotions and mental state adjust to their actual passing. So since he was calling for her, then like a knee-jerk reflex, he expected her to be there. Because obviously nobody plans an automobile accident which takes the life of somebody they love and care about. So that's kind of like my take on it. And he had planned to visit with the family, I think within a few days. And this was recent with this particular meeting for this organization and the press conference that followed. So you take that one in stride and putting it down to expecting someone to be there that you are used to being there. I'm quite sure all of us can relate to that. Going over to Los Angeles, in the case of Rakeem Asim Allen, the perpetrators have been located, at least one. Seems like it was a father and son, and possibly a daughter in a car, already at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles when Rakeem, his fiancée, and their child were having their meal. It was a 17-year-old son that jumped out of the car, ran in, fatally shot Rakim in the chest and the back, took his jewelry, and took off. The son has been apprehended. The daughter is being questioned. The father is still at large. Based on information that they were already in the parking lot, references to Rakim's fiance posting things on her Instagram about where they were and what they were doing has been cleared up as part of that fatal shooting. NBA. Nia Long, Emi Udoka, they have a son together, 10 years old. So more information has come out. So this person that Emi Udoka was involved with was a travel planner for Nia Long when she came to Boston or visited with Boston and had recently, recently been planning to move to Boston permanently. So, as it was discovered, they, quote unquote, were on the front porch of the married woman's home and were observed by the doorbell camera and whatever else happened on the front porch. But again, according to information released in the media, this had been being looked at since July. So after several months of investigation, we have this information coming forward in the media. Now, my take on all this, at first it was referenced that Nia was Emu's fiance with a 10-year-old child. Anybody that's married probably has two questions that they put forward. If a person's going to be gone for a couple of days, they want to know what's going on, what's the purposes of the travel. And there's usually a number of phone calls every couple of hours to make sure that the person is okay, safe, that everything is going well, etc., etc. The other question is that if one or the other in a marriage or relationship prepares to go out, the other person, no matter how hard they may try, will ask, where are you going? So the answer has to be something comparable. So because that translates to this. You're taking something with you that I believe belongs to me. So I want to know where you are taking it. So the answer would be, especially on a day's trip or if there's going to be a prolonged absence, I'm not going to be with you, but what I have that you presume belongs to you, I will do my best to take care of it and bring it back the same way you left it. I'm just saying. And then you always have that one. Absence makes the heart grow fonder for somebody else. So we all have our responsibilities and duties if we consider ourselves married in a relationship or otherwise caring about an individual, especially if there are children involved. So there we have that one. Russia's voting to annex those occupied territories of Ukraine. The voting is over. Although they have voted yes or have voted for it, It is not legally done and is not acceptable to those people who know better. So I guess the appropriate response would be, you just lying to yourself. Coolio, recognized for his rap songs Gangsta Paradise and Fantastic Voyage, was found in South Los Angeles, South LA, unresponsive. Dies at age 59. Those were just 2 of the 17 million records that he had sold during his career. Before becoming a rapper in the 80s, he worked as a firefighter. Coolio dies at age 59. Moving over to business, Byron Allen and McDonald's are in court. Byron Allen Media Group, AMG, amongst his other businesses, is suing McDonald's because McDonald's depends to a large degree on business in the Black community, and a large percentage of their customers are Black. Byron Allen is Black. Specifically, his media group includes the Weather Channel. So to kind of condense all the legalese involved in it, words, legal words, etc., Byron Allen is suing McDonald's for $1 billion for lost advertising because they will not put ads on the Weather Channel. So McDonald's filed in court to have the case dismissed. The judge ruled that it would move forward. So, good for Byron, good for Allen Media Group. We'll see, $1 billion in lost revenue, but McDonald's not advertising on the Weather Channel. Speaking of weather, Alaska, Nova Scotia, Cuba are all recovering from storms, hurricanes that have hit their landmass. And Florida is still going through high winds. And their particular storm event or weather event is projected to be amongst the top 10 in damages and property loss and things of that nature. So you kind of have to wait till everything settles down to see exactly what the damage assessment will be. Moving away from Florida, the storm is headed to Georgia and the Carolinas, according to the weather report. But let's not jump ahead of ourselves. We'll let you stay tuned in for updates. Since Russia went ahead with their vote to annex those occupied territories in Ukraine, new sanctions have been put against them in regards to their economy. More people are going to be doing even less business with Russia. Just something to kind of tune things on here. Whether you are a coffee drinker or a tea drinker, information has now been released from a 12.5-year study on people who drink coffee compared to people who do not, in regards to heart disease and other related functions. And it seems from this study that although during that 12-year period, people did die that were in the study group. For the most part, people who had 1 or more cups of coffee today experienced good health related to their heart condition and other things. So whether it was decaffeinated, ground, instant, however you want to have it, coffee has this positive benefit as far as health is concerned. Just thought I would put that in there because for the past couple of days I have said, well, I'm not going to have coffee today. Then I see this and I say, well, maybe I will have some coffee. You know, something warm when you get up in the morning along with whatever you're going to have. Some people try to display themselves as just having coffee. And we know breakfast is the most important meal of the day, sets the tone for everything else. Anyway, that being said, not quite into October, but the way time has been moving along, next month being Halloween and all the scary horror stories that go along with that. And if you have been watching Netflix Monster Dahmer story, have finished it or just in the middle of it, you know that that has been in the media based on the response of families of the victims, etc., etc. I had seen the one that was presented on quote unquote cable TV, but this Netflix one's is a different kind of presentation of him as a monster. Just saying, because the reaction has been pretty broad. People are pretty vocal, and I can't say as I blame them. Heading into the fall of the year, one more day to go to September. Daylight saving time ends on November 6th. After that, good people, heading into 2023, we'll have one straight time. Just to remind you, one straight time. So you can mark this down as your last experience with time change here in the United States specifically. And get ready for the weekend. Oh yes, if you're watching on Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, like, comment, share. If you're watching on YouTube, Sideshow with Theodore Parker, like, comment, subscribe. This is Thursday, September 29, 2022. That's it. Hashtag